Well guys, I'm out of AliExpress springs. FSC spring and TIPX spring was mostly successful, except I kept getting a stutter. And by stutter I mean first shot on a full tank would be double tap. I went through a number of bumpers, I just couldn't nail it down. So in my growing frustration, and yes, I do get frustrated too. Sometimes these things can be evil. I searched through my original M17 springs, looked for the longest one of the bunch, because as you know, after they take a pounding, they do shrink up a little, and that's the issue that causes, well, it's the bane of my existence, to be honest. So anyways, I found the longest spring. I gave it a good old stretch, put her back in the marker, fired off a mag. It seemed to be fine. There's 100% a better spring out there. I just haven't nailed it down yet. There have been, well, I take the good with the bad. So, as I previously had said in another video, I did run a double VKS spring and it worked, but I lost FPS. Now, I'm tempted to even go back and try that. And the reason I say that is because, you know, with some other modifications, I may be able to gain that 25 FPS back that I lost, but I don't want to cut into this reg just yet. I want to nail down this Autofire because up until a couple of days ago when I posted in the Facebook group and I posted on YouTube, the CQ had been, I mean, this was my latest of this platform and it had not given me any problems. So to say the least, that Autofire is kind of annoying, but I am working towards some sort of exact answer. I've heard them all: springs, short cycling, you know, and I've experimented in every which way, and I just haven't found the perfect combination yet. And if somebody out there has, well, again, you can share it with us. Everybody's here to help. At least that's what I thought. In any case, can of ride balls. 19 in my hybrid mag with the winder delete that I demonstrated in the last video. Now, there were some comments saying that this will come out of this magazine, and I do recall a video actually when they were showing how to service the mag was to actually wind it up, and it was John Yang, I think, that mentioned it, and as soon as he said it, I'm like, God damn it, why couldn't I remember that? And you know what, I got a lot of stuff to remember, so sometimes I miss things. I ain't perfect, that's for sure. I ain't God Almighty, that's for a fact. But anyways, he mentioned he wound up in the video, they wind the mag up and they click the ball to dead here, hold the ball to dead, and then click your mag release here, and phew, up comes a spring and up comes a follower, and then you can kind of do your thing. Well, lo and behold, he's correct. I do recall that video, and there were some other comments that mentioned the same thing. So I will accept when I'm wrong. And like I said, it's been a long time since I've run this mag, but in any case, this will be the second mag, full mag I put through this CQ with no retention on that follower. So it's just floating in there on top of the spring. Would it be a good idea to add some fishing line? Strong fishing line, as another subscriber had mentioned? Absolutely. I think you know, that might actually be the ticket to kind of resolve this whole thing. But if you didn't notice in the last video, when I actually cut the spring, when I opened the mag, you saw how twisted up that spring was. Even it just didn't look right. And then when I cut the cable loose, that spring straightened up nice. It went in the mag nice. And I think all those play a part in the feeding issues. And there may be some things to add to that, but I 100% believe no winder. You don't need the winder in LL. It is not necessary. We're not paintballers here. Most of the time we're shooting solid projectiles. Now, if you were shooting pepper balls, absolutely. I think you would probably want to keep your winder. And you probably wouldn't be popping them off in your garage hundreds at a time, and it really wouldn't cause an issue. But let's get to it. I'm just gonna chrono one. $3,000. And here, oh, you know what I forgot to mention? And I want you guys to grow with me. And like I said, I'm not right all the time. Now, I have the upgraded springs in my trigger group here. One of them's a 15, they're all 15 millimeter, 0.8 millimeter by, I think 5 millimeter to outside diameter springs. 100% an upgrade to the Sear spring. It replaces shimming it. But I jammed a 20 millimeter spring in here. 20 millimeters long. Same other, dimensions. I just ate dinner. And boy, it was a little bugger to get in there. Probably shot across the room 10 times, chasing the cat, trying to get the spring out of her mouth. But here's what happened with that spring once it was actually jammed in there. Now, I don't think it's the perfect spring because it's got a bit of deformity, like it's in there, it's jammed in there tight. Ideally, maybe like a 17 millimeter, or even I might change up the wire diameter, I don't know yet. This one is working, but here's the benefit. My marker, well, I better not point that at the roof. There we go, now I know. It is not aired. Now, if a lot of you are familiar with the M17, normally, even in safety, which my marker is in right now, when you air the marker, that bolt comes slamming forward and usually just knocks a ball out. So it'll just bump it out the barrel, and you might look like a fool if you're trying to deal with some sort of imminent threat. Let's back up here. So mag's in, mag's loaded, there's 19 balls in there. You see that? No ball came out. That's because that Sear is designed to slide forward as the bolt engages it. Now, with the factory Sear spring shimmed and the upgraded Sear spring, it's not quite enough that when that bolt comes forward with enough force, it bumps your first ball that is in the chamber here. And that's why you see it roll out the end. This new spring I have in here does not allow that to happen. That bolt doesn't get far enough forward to knock that bolt or ball. So I'm quite happy with that. We're making progress. Anyways, still talking too much. Let's shoot. Six. And you can see, fortunately, the Autofire is back. But it was short, which is good. That killed about Yeah, 1,900 PSI. But it demonstrates that there are others out there that are not alone with some of these issues, and these markers are not without issues. None of them are perfect, but let's keep going. Well, Faller didn't go into the breach. Those auto fires though kill your air. It's like sending the marker into full auto essentially, and I don't know, that's probably, I don't know, there's probably 5, 6, 8 shots that happen in that second that this bolt slipped, the Sear slipped. Or Sear, sorry, I shouldn't say slipped, it failed to catch. So I'm down to 500 PSI. You could hear it was, you know, the balls were not flying as hard near the end there. But, hey, like I said, this was more about, well, I lied. I do want to run this mag, like I said to you guys. I don't want to falsely say that it's not gonna cause you grief, but it didn't that time. But curse it, that bolt spring. To be continued.